The Stoics, known for their deep understanding of human nature, also mastered the psychology of relationships, including the dynamics between men and women. Stoicism teaches us to remain calm and composed in the face of emotional turbulence, to maintain our power and control, and to build relationships on the foundation of mutual respect and purpose. Today, we'll be delving into 7 powerful yet subtle psychological tricks that most men are completely unaware of, tricks that can make her feel irresistibly drawn to you. These tactics aren't about manipulation in a negative sense, but rather about shifting the dynamics of power and attraction in a way that fuels desire. Stay tuned until the end, because in Chapter 5, we reveal a critical approach that can change how she views you forever. As always, if you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share your thoughts or stories in the comments below. Let's dive into these 7 key tactics that only 1% of men truly understand. Chapter 1: Minimal to no compliments. One of the most powerful yet subtle tactics to get her hooked is to minimize or entirely withhold compliments. While this approach may seem counterintuitive, there's a psychological reason why it works so effectively. In today's world, especially with social media and modern dating culture, women are often showered with compliments and validation, both online and in real life. Whether it's from strangers in her DMs or guys she meets in person, most men attempt to win a woman's affection through constant praise, believing that flattery will make her more interested. But here's the truth: when something is given too freely, it loses its value. Compliments, especially when overused, can quickly become hollow and expected. Women who are used to constant validation start to see these compliments as background noise rather than something special or meaningful. Most men make the mistake of overusing compliments in an attempt to boost her ego, but this only places them in the same category as every other guy. The Stoics, who mastered human nature, knew that scarcity creates value. The principle of Stoicism is to refrain from excess, whether in actions, words, or emotions. By holding back compliments, you tap into this philosophy. The less you compliment her, the more she will begin to notice, and in time, she will start to crave that rare moment when you actually do praise her. In the absence of constant validation, she'll start to wonder why she's not getting the same attention from you that she gets from others. She'll ask herself, why is he different? This curiosity plants a seed of intrigue and desire. The key to this tactic is not to be cold or indifferent, but to give compliments sparingly and only when they truly matter. For instance, instead of telling her she looks beautiful every time you see her, wait for a moment when she genuinely stands out or does something that impresses you. When you offer a compliment in these rare instances, it becomes far more significant. It's no longer just a generic statement, but rather something she will treasure because it's clear that you don't give praise lightly. This method flips the typical dynamic. Instead of you being the one chasing her approval through constant affirmation, she will now start seeking yours. By being less generous with your compliments, you are demonstrating that your validation is valuable and not something to be handed out carelessly. Over time, she'll begin working to earn that approval, becoming more invested in trying to impress you. She'll start thinking, what can I do to make him notice me? Why isn't he fawning over me like everyone else? Additionally, this approach speaks to a deeper element of attraction: confidence. Men who are constantly handing out compliments often come across as needy or insecure, as if they're trying to compensate for something. But a man who withholds praise displays an inner confidence that says, I don't need to flatter you to gain your interest. This confidence is incredibly attractive because it shows that you are self-assured and not easily swayed by outward appearances or societal expectations. This tactic also aligns with Stoic principles of maintaining emotional discipline and not letting external forces control your actions. Instead of rushing to flatter her, take a step back and observe. Compliments should come from a place of sincerity, not desperation. By mastering the art of withholding praise, you become someone whose words carry weight and meaning. you become the man whose validation she works for rather than the one seeking her attention. The more you practice this, the more you'll notice the shift in dynamics. Women will begin to appreciate the compliments they receive from you much more because they know they're not easy to come by. Instead of being another guy in the background showering her with praise, you'll stand out as someone who is discerning and selective with your approval. This creates a psychological pull, making her crave your validation because it feels earned rather than freely given. In conclusion, giving minimal or no compliments creates a powerful sense of scarcity that increases the value of your attention and approval. Instead of blending into the background like every other man trying to win her over, you become the one who stands out by not following the crowd. When she realizes that your compliments are rare, she will seek them out more intensely, becoming emotionally invested in gaining your approval. Over time, this tactic can make her addicted to the idea of earning your validation, creating a dynamic where she is constantly seeking your attention rather than the other way around. Chapter 2. Challenge her. The second powerful tactic to make her intrigued and emotionally invested is to challenge her on what you're looking for in a woman. Many men fall into the trap of lowering their standards or going out of their way to impress a woman at any cost, thinking that being agreeable and easygoing will win her over. However, this approach often backfires as it makes you appear too eager to please or even desperate for her attention. Instead, one of the most effective ways to stand out and keep her hooked is by setting high standards and making it clear that you're seeking specific qualities in a partner, not just anyone will do. Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of maintaining our values and not compromising for external validation or approval. This concept applies perfectly to relationships, where being firm about what you want in a woman sends a clear message: you respect yourself and are not willing to settle just for the sake of attention. When you challenge her to meet these standards, you immediately signal that your time and attention are valuable, and this piques her interest. Women want to feel that they are earning your approval, and by making her work to meet your expectations, you create a sense of excitement and challenge that is difficult to resist. When you let her know that you're seeking more than just physical attraction, qualities such as intelligence, kindness, emotional depth, or ambition, you differentiate yourself from the men who focus solely on surface-level traits. Women are accustomed to being admired for their looks, and while compliments are flattering, they can also feel shallow. By challenging her on a deeper level, you're saying, "I'm not just interested in a pretty face, I'm looking for someone who can add real value to my life." This not only raises the stakes, but also makes her feel that she needs to prove herself worthy of the kind of relationship you're offering. It's no longer just about her impressing you with her looks, it's about her demonstrating that she can align with your values and goals. This tactic also taps into the Stoic idea of self-control and emotional restraint. It shows that you're not driven by base desires or seeking immediate gratification. Instead, you demonstrate that you're willing to take your time and find someone who truly meets your standards. This level of patience and discernment is incredibly attractive because it signals that you're not like other men who are easily swayed by superficial qualities. You're not the type to drop everything at the first sign of attention, you're holding out for something more meaningful. This makes you stand out as someone who values substance over style, and that's a quality that keeps women intrigued. Challenging her also encourages self-reflection. By making it clear what you're looking for, you subtly invite her to assess whether she measures up to those expectations. Just as men are drawn to challenges, so too are women. When they sense that a man is selective and holds high standards, they naturally become more motivated to prove themselves worthy. The dynamic shifts from you chasing her to her working to meet your expectations. This creates a powerful emotional connection as she becomes more invested in proving that she has what it takes to be the partner you're looking for. Additionally, by challenging her, you introduce a sense of mystery into the relationship. You're not laying everything out on the table or being overly eager to win her approval. Instead, you keep her guessing about what it will truly take to capture your interest. This sense of uncertainty is captivating and addictive. Women are naturally curious, and when they don't fully understand what's going on in your mind, they are drawn deeper into the relationship, eager to figure you out and impress you. This mystery keeps her engaged and constantly wondering how she can get closer to you. In conclusion, challenging her on what you're looking for in a woman flips traditional dating dynamics on their head. Instead of seeking her approval, you make it clear that you have high standards and expect her to meet them. This tactic aligns perfectly with Stoic principles of self-control, self-worth, and emotional restraint. By demonstrating that you're not easily impressed and are looking for more than just physical attraction, you create a dynamic where she feels compelled to rise to the challenge. This shift keeps her emotionally invested and eager to earn your approval, making her more intrigued and connected to you on a deeper level. Chapter 3. Plan dates in advance. Another powerful tactic that plays into the psychology of making her hooked is planning your dates well in advance. This might seem like a simple logistical decision, but in reality, it has a profound psychological effect on her mindset. Planning a date far ahead builds anticipation and keeps her thinking about you for days, or even weeks, before you actually meet. While most men are focused on the immediate, trying to schedule a date as soon as possible, those who understand the power of anticipation know how to make her crave the upcoming time together. Stoicism teaches the importance of patience and discipline. Planning a date far in advance demonstrates these qualities. It shows that you're not desperate to see her right away and that you have a life outside of pursuing her. This creates a sense of mystery and intrigue because you're not immediately available. You're busy, you have priorities, and she must wait to be a part of your life. This waiting period heightens her desire, making her think more about you as the date approaches. When a woman knows she has a date with you on the calendar days or weeks ahead, it builds psychological anticipation. She'll find herself thinking about you more often, wondering what the date will be like and mentally preparing for it. This time spent in anticipation creates emotional investment. Instead of simply agreeing to a last-minute outing, she's now actively looking forward to it, imagining the possibilities and building excitement. This emotional build-up makes the date itself feel more significant and special. Additionally, planning ahead demonstrates leadership and decisiveness, qualities that women find attractive. It shows that you're a man with a plan, someone who takes control and is not afraid to make decisions. This contrasts sharply with the indecisiveness or last-minute planning that many men fall into, and it sets you apart as someone who values their time and hers. Women appreciate a man who takes the initiative and plans something thoughtful, rather than someone who leaves everything to chance. Another subtle aspect of planning ahead is that it gives her the impression that your time is valuable. You're not someone who can be swayed by a whim or who is available at the drop of a hat. By scheduling a date in advance, you communicate that you have a life filled with responsibilities and interests, and she must fit into that schedule. This makes her feel that she is earning your time and attention rather than simply being granted it because you have nothing better to do. Lastly, planning a date in advance aligns with Stoic values of self-discipline and control. You're not rushing into things or seeking immediate gratification. Instead, you're pacing the relationship, allowing it to develop naturally over time. This controlled, measured approach keeps the emotional intensity balanced and ensures that she remains hooked on the idea of seeing you, rather than feeling overwhelmed or pressured. In conclusion, planning dates far in advance is more than just good logistics. It's a psychological tactic that builds anticipation and emotional investment. It demonstrates that you're a man of discipline, patience, and decisiveness. By making her wait and anticipate your time together, you increase her desire and make the eventual meeting feel more meaningful. In doing so, you set the tone for a dynamic where she is invested in your relationship, eagerly looking forward to every opportunity to spend time with you. Chapter 4. Don't lie about your relationship. One of the most effective strategies to make a woman emotionally invested in you is by being completely honest about your relationship intentions. Contrary to popular belief, deception and mind games don't lead to deeper connections. In fact, they usually have the opposite effect, creating mistrust and emotional distance. By being upfront about what you want and where you stand, you set yourself apart as a confident, self-assured man. This honesty will make you far more attractive and respected. In Stoic philosophy, integrity and truth are key virtues. The Stoics taught that living a life of honesty leads to inner peace and stronger connections with others. Lies and manipulation, however tempting in the short term, run counter to this wisdom. In relationships, deceit is particularly harmful. When you're clear and straightforward, whether you're seeking something serious, casual, or just exploring, you offer her the respect and dignity of transparency. Most men think they need to play games or hide their true intentions to maintain a woman's interest, but that only breeds confusion, mistrust, and eventually resentment. Honesty in a relationship creates a strong foundation of trust and dependability. Women are naturally drawn to men who are secure enough in themselves to be truthful and assertive about their desires. When you stand by your word and avoid playing games, it sends a clear signal of emotional strength and stability, qualities that women find deeply attractive. Over time, this transparency allows her to become more emotionally connected to you because she knows she can trust what you say. On the other hand, dishonesty will create cracks in the relationship. If you're vague or deceptive about your feelings or intentions, tension and insecurity will inevitably creep in. Even if you think you're sparing her feelings or avoiding a difficult conversation, the lack of transparency will erode the trust between you. Women are highly intuitive, and if she senses you're being dishonest or evasive, she'll start to question the entire relationship. The dynamic will shift from one of open communication to suspicion, and emotional distance will follow. Honesty also empowers her to make decisions based on reality, not illusions. By being truthful, you're allowing her the freedom to choose what's best for her, rather than manipulating her into a situation she might not fully understand. This shows that you respect her autonomy, which in turn makes you more appealing. She'll see that you're someone who values her enough to be honest and direct, which will deepen her respect and emotional investment in the relationship. Additionally, being upfront prevents unnecessary drama or heartbreak down the line. When both parties are clear about their expectations, it becomes easier to navigate the relationship without the emotional turmoil that dishonesty can bring. If she knows exactly where you stand, she won't waste time wondering or becoming anxious about your intentions. This kind of transparency fosters a healthy, low-drama connection built on mutual respect. In conclusion, being truthful about your relationship is a powerful tool for building lasting attraction. Stoicism teaches us that honesty and integrity form the foundation of strong relationships. When you are forthright about your intentions, you demonstrate emotional maturity, self-confidence, and respect for her as an individual. In the end, this level of honesty is not only attractive, but it also paves the way for deeper, more meaningful connections that are built to last. Chapter 5. Don't give too much attention. Another critical strategy to keep a woman emotionally invested is to avoid giving her too much attention. Many men fall into the trap of showering a woman with constant communication, texts, calls, and messages, thinking that being always present will make her feel loved and appreciated. However, the reality is that too much attention can backfire, leaving her feeling smothered rather than desired. When you're overly available, you eliminate the space that's necessary for emotional attraction and desire to naturally develop. In the teachings of Stoicism, balance is a key principle. The Stoics believed in the virtue of moderation, and the same applies to relationships. Just as they advised against extremes in emotions or actions, they would encourage balance in how much time and attention you give someone. By not overwhelming her with constant contact or being readily available at every moment, you create a valuable space for her to reflect on your relationship. When she doesn't hear from you for a while, she'll naturally start to think about you and miss your presence. This sense of emotional scarcity turns your time and attention into something precious that she longs to have more of. When you give too much attention, it can come across as needy, insecure, or overly invested in the relationship. Women are inherently drawn to men who have their own lives, passions, and goals independent of the relationship. If you're constantly available and responding instantly, you may lose the air of mystery and independence that initially made you attractive. Maintaining some distance creates a sense of intrigue as she begins to wonder what you're doing and why you're not constantly seeking her out. She'll start to crave your attention and, in turn, work harder to earn it. Another critical aspect of this strategy is that it aligns with Stoic ideals of self-control and emotional restraint. The Stoics emphasized the importance of mastering one's emotions and not being reactive or impulsive. By not responding immediately to every text or always being eager to meet, you signal that you're in control of your time and emotions. This level of self-discipline is highly attractive because it shows that you're not ruled by emotional neediness or desperation. Instead, you're able to calmly assess the situation and respond in a way that maintains balance and harmony. Furthermore, this emotional restraint creates a dynamic where she becomes the one seeking your attention rather than you always pursuing her. She begins to wonder what you're up to, why you're not constantly available, and how she can capture more of your time. This shift in the dynamic keeps her emotionally engaged as she becomes more invested in trying to gain your attention and affection. By giving her space, you're also giving her the opportunity to appreciate your presence when you're around. If you're constantly texting or calling, there's no room for her to miss you, and the value of your presence diminishes. By contrast, when you strategically withhold some attention, every interaction becomes more meaningful. She'll begin to anticipate and cherish the moments you do spend together, making the relationship feel more exciting and fulfilling. Additionally, by not overwhelming her with attention, you're sending a clear message that you have your own life, ambitions, and priorities. This sense of independence is incredibly attractive to women. It shows that you're not entirely dependent on her for your happiness or fulfillment, which in turn makes her respect and admire you even more. When she sees that you're capable of thriving on your own, it elevates your status in her eyes, making her more likely to become emotionally attached. It's important to strike a balance, though. You don't want to play hard to get to the extent that she feels neglected or unappreciated. The key is to maintain a steady flow of attention and communication while still allowing space for her to miss you. This creates a healthy push-pull dynamic that keeps her invested in the relationship and eager to spend time with you. The Stoics also valued the principle of intention. When you do give her attention, make sure it's genuine and meaningful. Instead of mindlessly texting or calling just to check in, be deliberate in your interactions. Show her that when you're present, you're fully engaged and interested in her, but also that you have the discipline to pull back and focus on your own life when needed. This balance creates a powerful emotional connection as she learns to appreciate both your presence and your independence. In conclusion, not giving too much attention is a powerful tactic that aligns with Stoic principles of balance, self-control, and emotional restraint. By creating space in the relationship, you give her the opportunity to miss you, reflect on the value of your presence, and become more emotionally invested. Women are naturally drawn to men who maintain their independence, and by not overwhelming her with constant attention, you create a dynamic where she is actively working to earn your time and affection. This strategy builds a deeper emotional bond as she becomes addicted to the challenge and excitement of gaining your attention. Chapter 6: Master Emotional Control. One of the most underrated but powerful tactics to keep a woman intrigued and addicted is mastering emotional control. Most men make the mistake of being overly emotional, reactive, or dramatic in relationships. Whether it's anger, jealousy, or overexcitement, letting emotions drive your actions can quickly cause you to lose the upper hand in any romantic dynamic. The ability to stay calm, composed, and stoic in all situations not only makes you stand out, but also creates an emotional magnetism that women find irresistible. Stoicism teaches us to be in control of our emotions rather than being controlled by them. In relationships, this principle is crucial. A man who can maintain his calm in both good and challenging times shows emotional maturity and strength. Emotional outbursts, whether positive or negative, can make you appear unpredictable or unstable, which can be unattractive. Women are drawn to men who have a steady emotional compass, someone who doesn't get rattled easily and who can provide stability in any situation. For example, if she tries to provoke an argument or tests you by pushing your buttons, the worst thing you can do is react in a heated or emotional manner. This signals weakness and insecurity. Instead, if you remain composed and respond in a calm, measured way, you immediately demonstrate that you are in control, not just of your emotions, but of the entire situation. She will respect and be drawn to this emotional strength because it shows that you're not easily swayed by external circumstances. Maintaining emotional control also prevents you from appearing too eager or needy. Many men, when they feel that a woman is losing interest or becoming distant, will react with desperation, sending too many messages, asking for reassurance, or becoming overly emotional. This kind of behavior pushes women away, as it signals insecurity. Instead, if you remain calm and indifferent to temporary shifts in her behavior, you show that your happiness and emotional stability are not dependent on her attention. This makes her more intrigued and invested, as she sees that you are a man who can stand firm even when things are uncertain. Furthermore, mastering emotional control aligns with the Stoic value of self-discipline. When you practice self-restraint, especially in emotionally charged situations, you demonstrate that you have mastery over your inner world. This kind of self-discipline is rare and highly attractive. Women are naturally drawn to men who don't let their emotions dictate their actions, as it signals that you are someone who can be relied on in both good times and bad. In contrast, men who are overly emotional tend to lose respect and attraction over time. Whether it's through jealousy, anger, or neediness, letting your emotions control you will lead to a dynamic where she feels she has more power and control in the relationship. When she senses that you're emotionally dependent on her, she may begin to lose interest, as there is no longer a challenge or sense of mystery. Emotional control, on the other hand, keeps her intrigued and eager to maintain her emotional connection to you. In conclusion, mastering emotional control is a key tactic to keeping her emotionally addicted. By staying calm, composed, and stoic in all situations, you show emotional maturity and strength, which women find highly attractive. Emotional control prevents you from appearing needy or desperate, making her more invested in the relationship. In alignment with Stoic philosophy, this self-discipline allows you to maintain power and balance in your relationships, ensuring that she remains emotionally connected to you. One of the most potent tactics for keeping her intrigued and emotionally connected is unpredictability. Many men fall into the trap of becoming too predictable in their relationships, whether it's in their conversations, how they plan dates, or how they interact with her on a daily basis. When a relationship becomes predictable, it often feels stagnant, and that initial excitement fades. Women, by nature, are drawn to mystery, excitement, and adventure. One of the most effective ways to cultivate this energy is through unpredictable actions and behaviors, which keep the relationship lively and engaging. Stoicism teaches us to embrace life's uncertainties, and unpredictability in a relationship serves a similar purpose. When a woman can predict your every move, the sense of curiosity and excitement that fuels emotional connection diminishes. Being unpredictable adds a layer of mystery that keeps her invested in trying to figure you out. However, unpredictability doesn't mean being inconsistent or unreliable. It's about keeping her on her toes, never fully knowing what your next move will be. This keeps her mind actively engaged in the relationship, and that mental stimulation is key to maintaining her emotional attachment. For instance, rather than always texting or calling at the same time or responding immediately to her messages, vary your communication style. Sometimes reply quickly, and other times take your time. By doing so, you keep her wondering when she'll hear from you next. This simple shift can prevent the relationship from falling into a monotonous routine. Similarly, when planning dates, avoid falling into predictable patterns. If you typically plan a dinner and a movie, switch it up, take her on an unexpected adventure, introduce her to a new hobby, or change plans at the last minute to do something spontaneous. These surprises create excitement and keep the relationship dynamic, ensuring that she remains emotionally hooked. Unpredictability also aligns with the Stoic value of embracing change and impermanence. Stoicism encourages us to remain flexible and open to the ever-changing nature of life. When you're unpredictable in a relationship, you show her that you're adaptable, not rigid or stuck in your ways. This adaptability keeps her intrigued because she knows that being with you means that there will always be an element of surprise. Women admire men who can go with the flow, adjusting to different situations with ease. It demonstrates emotional intelligence and resilience, qualities that are incredibly attractive and ensure she stays engaged. Another key aspect of unpredictability is maintaining a sense of mystery about yourself. Don't reveal everything about your thoughts, feelings, or life goals too soon. Instead, let her uncover different aspects of who you are over time. This ongoing discovery process creates an emotional investment on her part, as she'll constantly want to learn more about you. The mystery you create ensures she remains curious, as she'll always feel that there's more to know. Once everything about you is revealed, the excitement of discovery fades. So, by maintaining this element of mystery, you ensure that her interest and attraction remain strong over time. It's crucial to strike a balance, though. Being unpredictable doesn't mean being unreliable or erratic in a way that causes insecurity or frustration. Consistent unpredictability, where you keep her guessing but never create anxiety, is the sweet spot. Be dependable when it matters, showing her that while you may surprise her, you're also someone she can rely on in moments of need. This balance of excitement and security is what will keep her both intrigued and emotionally attached. If you're too unpredictable, you risk creating instability in the relationship, which can lead to a lack of trust. But when managed correctly, unpredictability is a powerful tool that enhances emotional connection. In conclusion, unpredictability is an essential element in maintaining a woman's emotional engagement. By avoiding routine, you prevent the relationship from becoming stale and predictable. Creating an air of mystery keeps her guessing and fuels her desire to know you more deeply. This approach aligns closely with the Stoic principle of embracing change, showing that you are adaptable and open to new experiences. However, it's important to balance unpredictability with reliability, ensuring that while you keep her on her toes, she also knows she can trust you when it matters most. This careful mix of excitement and dependability will keep her invested, always eager to see what new surprises you'll bring next. In this episode, we've uncovered 7 powerful Stoic strategies that put you in control of your relationships. These aren't manipulative tricks, but timeless principles rooted in emotional discipline, self-awareness, and understanding human nature. When used wisely, they help create a deeper connection and keep her engaged without losing your own sense of self. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your experiences with these strategies. Thanks for watching. Stay focused, stay stoic, and stay in control.